2016. It's the Red Arrows! Pulling up now at 4G and 400 miles an hour. You'll see the jets collapse from that 955-foot wide formation. They reach 6,000 feet above us. Now the jets are 6 feet apart as they reach 6,000 feet and form our trademark Diamond 9 shape, slowing down to about 150 miles an hour now. At the front of the formation is Red 1, squadron leader David Montenegro, who's the team's leader. Monty is in his second year leading the team. He's a former Hawk flying instructor and Tornado F3 air defense pilot. He's also been an instructor on the Tucano. It's actually his second time with the Red Arrows. He first joined in 2009, leaving in 2011, having flown as part of the Synchro pair. Over to the right now, the smoke's on, as the boys form the shape of a space shuttle. Now get your cameras ready. They're going to come in from the right to fly the shuttle roll. The jets are going upside down. Let's give everyone a big wave. Let's give the pilots a huge wave, everybody. Upside down at 400 miles an hour, 2,500 feet. The aircraft there, around 6 to 8 feet away from each other in that space shuttle shape. The front of the right-hand shuttle wing is the first of our 2 new pilots this year. He is Red 2, Flight Lieutenant Matt Masters. Matt is a former Tucano flying instructor, and then he moved on to be a Tornado F3 pilot. He's more recently been on number 100 squadron, flying this version of the Hawk. And that's Matt on the front right wing of shuttle. Looking front left now, another shape is formed. This shape was designed in the 1960s when NASA's Apollo program was in full swing, and we've introduced it into the display this year to celebrate Britain's latest involvement in the space race and the achievements of Major Tim Peake, who has just this week landed from 6 months aboard the International Space Station. In from the left, this is Apollo. You hear Reds 2 and 3 acknowledge this next move, and they do so with a very set cadence. The idea being the other pilots continue counting in their heads using that cadence. On the count of 4, they all extend their air brakes, and on the count of 6, they retract their air brakes. That means the aircraft on each wing drop back to form this shape, which depicts the delta wing plan form of the Royal Air Force's multi-role combat aircraft. As they come in from the left for some red and white smoke, this is Typhoon. Well, the second of our new pilots this year used to in fact fly the Typhoon. He's Red 3, Flight Lieutenant Cy Taylor. He's on the front left wing of that Typhoon shape. Cy is actually a former Tornado GR4 pilot, but then he moved on to fly the Typhoon. He was on number 3 squadron on the front line, and then moved on to be an instructor on the Operational Conversion Unit, number 29 squadron at RAF Coningsby down the road here in Lincolnshire. Looking right now, another shape is formed for a brand new manoeuvre for 2016, which celebrates the Royal Air Force's fast jet workhorse, which has been on near enough continuous operations now for 25 years, since the start of the First Gulf War. In from the right, this is Tornado. Display pilots you're watching now are in fact former Tornado bomber pilots or Tornado GR4 pilots, one of them being Red 5, who's at the front left of the 7 Arrow at the front of tornado shape there. Red 5 is Flight Lieutenant Emmett Cox. He's actually from New Zealand, but he moved to the UK in 2002 to join the Royal Air Force and became a tornado pilot and then an instructor teaching basic fast jet training on the Tucano. Looking towards Spurn Point now, you'll see another shape being formed. The 3 aircraft on each wing drop to the very back of the formation to form Swan. Cameras ready over to the front left. Red 1 calls and pulling up, 400 miles an hour and 4G in that fabulous Swan shape. Now keep your eyes on the formation. Reds 2, 3 and 7 turn their smoke off. From 400 miles an hour and 4G, they slow down to about 150 miles an hour at 6,000 feet and 1G. And you can see we formed a feathered arrow shape. A feathered arrow, we say, is a bit of a mouthful to say on the radio, so we call this formation Fred. At the back left of Fred is Red 9, who's Flight Lieutenant Joe Hurston. Joe's in his 3rd and final year as a Red Arrows pilot. He started his career as an instructor on this version of Hawk, the Hawk T-Mark 1. He then moved on to fly the Tornado, and then he moved on to fly the Royal Air Force's newest advanced jet trainer, our new version of the Hawk T-Mark 2. And that's Red 9 at the top as we look at it now with his smoke on, as we form another shape. This one is named after the 1960s Royal Naval fighter, the de Havilland Sea Vixen. As they come in from the right, they're going to fly the Big Vixen roll. On the right-hand side, as we look at it, is Red 8, who's Flight Lieutenant Stu Campbell. Stu's also in his 3rd and final year in the team. He is a former Tucano instructor and Tucano display pilot. Then he moved on to fly the Tornado GR4 with number 617, the Dam Busters Squadron, before joining the Red Arrows. So there we go, that ends the first part of the Red Arrows display, where so far you've seen all 9 aircraft together performing close formation aerobatics. Have we enjoyed it so far, ladies and gentlemen? That's a good sign, brilliant. Well, now it's about to get even better. Looking out to the front left, you'll see another shape being formed. This is for another brand new manoeuvre as part of our 2016 full display. Over to the left, you will see a shape called Hammer, and at the front of Hammer are Reds 1 to 5. They're known as Enid, after Enid Blyton's famous 5, and at the back are Reds 6, 7, 8 and 9. Their collective name as a formation is Jippo, and that was the nickname of the gentleman who first led the back 4 aircraft when the Red Arrows started flying 9-ship displays back in 1968. So the smoke's about to come on to the front left. Get your cameras ready. Once again, pulling up at 400 miles an hour and 4 times the force of gravity. Red 1 is now twisting this loop towards us through 90 degrees in what's known as a quarter clover. You can really see that hammer shape now. Now get your cameras ready for the good bits. This is the hammerhead brake. The 2 closest aircraft on the left and right are the synchro pair, Red 6 on the left and Red 7 on the right. They're from 1,000 feet They're now descending to 100 feet above the sea. Full power, dropping down to 100 feet. Their closing speed for this maneuver is 770 miles an hour. Their first opposition maneuver. This is the opposition barrel roll. They leave full power on the aircraft. They're turning away from us now at 6G, or 6 times the force of gravity. Everything in these pilots' bodies weighs 6 times more than normal. Their G-suits have inflated, their blood's trying to pool in their feet, so they're working hard to fight the G-force as they fly the Cyclone. The synchro pair, he's Flight Lieutenant Steve Morris. Steve is in his 4th year as a Red Arrows pilot. He started off his career as an instructor on the Hawk, then moved on to fly the Harrier GR9, and then on to fly the Tornado GR4 before joining the Red Arrows. That's him high on the left. Chasing down low is Red 7, full power, cutting the corner, trying to get into line astern. Now look over to your right, 45 degrees. The smoke comes on for Reds 1 to 5, 8 and 9. They drop down to form an inverted V shape. Cameras ready for some fabulous red, white and blue in support of our armed forces, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Goose. Red, white and blue. Let's have a huge round of applause for the UK Armed Forces! Stripe of red, white and blue over on the front left now. If you look down to your right hand side, looking to the right, you'll see 2 aircraft approaching. That's the synchro pair. On comes their smoke, ready for the shotgun. Synchro there, finishing the shotgun where you see Red 6 and 7 rolling inverted and erect at different times throughout that fabulous manoeuvre. Keep looking further to the left now where you'll find Enid with Red 8 and some more red, white and blue smoke. They're about to turn their white smoke on over to the left. And now they're ready to fly the Revolution. Each of the pilots there in the Revolution flying an aileron roll manoeuvre, essentially a full left-hand control column input which rolls the aircraft rapidly around its longitudinal axis. Now, looking directly ahead, you'll find the synchro pair. Pulling up at 500 miles an hour at 5G. Cameras ready, everybody. Reaching a height of 7,000 feet. They put their red smoke on as they get ready to draw a fabulous heart here in the skies above Cleethorpes. Keep your eyes top right of the heart. You'll see Red 9 coming in to add a final touch. He's going to draw a spear through this heart. Now today, of course, is Armed Forces Day across the country. We would like to dedicate this heart to all of the families who support their Armed Forces partners, husbands, wives, mums, dads, boyfriends, girlfriends, partners. Thank you very much, everybody. Left and right for the synchro pair. White smoke on, back to 100 feet, they're going to fly the double rolls, which this year we've named in honour of an aviation legend, Captain Eric Winkle Brown, who sadly died in February this year. These are the Winkle rolls. Synchro pair finish. Look right, 45 degrees. Right, 45 degrees, you'll see Enid with their smoke on. Reds 1, 2, 3 and 5 forming a box formation. The fifth jet is now going to roll around them a dozen times. This is the fabulous Twister. Getting very dizzy there with the red smoke on is Red 4, Flight Lieutenant Mike Bowden. Mike's in his second year with the team. He's a former Hawk instructor, then moved on to fly the Harrier GR9, and then on to the Tornado GR4. That's him just finishing his 12th roll now with his red smoke going off to white, over to the front left. Now bring your eyes further round to the left to find the 4 aircraft of Jippo.
That's good timing.
On comes Jippo's smoke as they roll out along the line. Red 6 and 7 now roll upside down in close formation. No trickery here, ladies and gentlemen. Reds 8 and 9 are flying directly underneath them. Cameras ready. This is Mirror. Red 8 there working very hard, directly below Red 6. He can only see around 10 to 12 inches of Red 6's jet with his head cracked right back in the cockpit. So that's Jippo finishing over to the right. Look left now to find the 5 headlights of Enid. The inside pilots pitch up to roll to the outside as they fly the rollbacks. Fabulous match rollbacks to your right. Look further right and you'll see Jippo. Once again, 6 and 7 upside down. This is the corkscrew. Fabulous corkscrew finishing down to the left-hand side there. You now need to look to your right, 45 degrees again. Red 1 calls into line astern for Enid. You see now Reds 1 to 5 stacked top to bottom.
Coming right now.
Coming right, the pilots use lots of rudder to swing the jets out like a pendulum.
Even up.
Photos now of line astern, ladies and gentlemen. Now normally Red Arrow's formations are flown with the odd-numbered pilots on the left, the even-numbered pilots on the right, but in this shape it's different. Reds 2 and 4 at the top as we look on the left and 3 and 5 on the right. Now we're going to swap back to our normal sides and we do it like this. This is the slalom. Back on their normal all sides for Enid now with some more red, white and blue smoke. They tighten to 3.5 G as they present battle formation. Now, bring your eyes forward, look straight ahead to find Jippo. Reds 8 and 9 pitch up to roll around 6 and 7. They then roll. Get your cameras ready for the fabulous Jippo break. Over on the right hand side is Red 7, Synchro number 2. He is Flight Lieutenant Tom Bold. Tom's in his second year in the team. He's a former Tucano instructor and Tucano display pilot. He then moved on to fly the Typhoon at RAF Coningsby, and that's him with the smoke on the right. He is followed by Red 8. Looking left with the smoke on is Red 6, chased down by Red 9. The 4 aircraft ascending to 100 feet. Their closing speed is now 820 miles per hour. Get your cameras ready. This is the Jippo Pass. Now look right 45 degrees. To the right 45, Enid are going to draw a red, white and blue snake-like shape of smoke in the sky as they fly the Python. Reds 2, 3, 4 and 5 switching their smoke colour back to white. Red 1 now using some red and blue smoke as they finish this second Python roll, apexing there 2,500 feet. The jets in that line abreast leaders benefit formation around 6 feet apart from wingtip to wingtip. That finishes front left. We now need to look left and right again for the synchro pair. Red 6 right and Red 7 left. Closing at 800 miles an hour to cross 3 times now in their final manoeuvre. This is the carousel. You can hear full power on those Rolls-Royce engines now. The pilots are pulling 6G once again, fighting hard to work against the G-force. They cross at the back, spot how the pilots swap their smoke colour from red to blue and vice versa using the individual colour control buttons on the aircraft control column. Switching back round the front as they finish the carousel. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a huge round of applause for the synchro pair. Now look straight ahead for the display's finale. They're in Vixen formation. This is the Vixen break.
Full recovery, straight ahead and left. 3, 4, a little bit off. Right.
You've been watching the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team, the Red Arrows! Red 1's put his white smoke on now so that the other 8 aircraft can get visual with him as quickly as possible. They're going to gather back as a 9-ship formation to recover to our home base down the road at RAF Scampton, just north of Lincoln, where our team of Blues are going to service the aircraft. They'll put more fuel in, they'll put more diesel and dye in for a very high profile flypast we have over London, over Trafalgar Square this afternoon for the Pride in London Festival, and then on to the Goodwood Festival of Speed, landing in Oxford. We're then off to Belgium very early tomorrow morning. If you'd like to find out more about the team, then please do visit our website, which is raf.mod.uk/Reds. On Facebook, we're RAF Red Arrows, and on Twitter, we are at RAF Red Arrows. If you'd like a memento of the display, then please do go along to the Royal Air Forces Association stand here on the seafront, where you can buy a limited edition print. This is a side profile of one of our Hawk aircraft, and it's been hand signed by each of